We are so close to football getting underway. And yeah, I don't believe football is back until the NFL kicks off because to me, that's the holy grail of football. So we're going to run through an updated record schedule prediction for the Falcons, go through all 17 games. I did this when the schedule came out, but I didn't know back then they'd have Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons. Things have changed, so let's update it. Starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I am predicting to be a win. I am beyond confident. This is what I believe to be a ship pumping in the making. The Pittsburgh Steelers come in with their tail between their legs. They're scared. They've been treading water the last couple of years, barely getting above 500, somehow sneaking into the playoffs just to get smacked around by an actual playoff team. They go out and get Russell Wilson. They're having constant quarterback turnover year after year after year. Meanwhile, the Falcons trot out Kirk Cousins, an awesome offense, Justin Simmons, and Matthew Judon to release havoc on Russell Wilson. Give me the Falcons 27-10. Week 2, I changed it. I initially had this as a loss, but over the last month, we've seen Simmons and Judon come over, which isn't going to make them win every single game. But I've also kind of just seen from afar the Eagles start to disintegrate a little bit. Fractions between Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. And yes, at home, they are exquisite under the lights of prime time. But for now, I'm thinking the Falcons shock the other birds with a win on Monday Night Football, and that completely gets rid of the curse for Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. Week 3 against the Chiefs. I'll put this one down as a loss. Going to have Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. Unfortunately, remind the NFL who they are still. And the Falcons don't get humbled by any stretch of the imagination, but they do pick up loss number 1. But they bounce back with a win at home against the Saints. 3-1 in the first 4 games of the season. Rise up, baby. This one's going to be an ass kicking. I think the Saints are going to be a 6-win team, and Dennis Allen gets fired. But what is your Falcons record prediction after the first 4 games? Let me know in the comment section below what you are predicting. After beating the Saints in Week 4, give me back-to-back NFC South wins, taking down the Bucs on Thursday Night Football. For Matty Ice getting his jersey retired as well. And you know what? Why stop there? Week 6 at the Panthers. Call it a dub. Another one. Now the Falcons are rolling. Through 6 weeks, they are 5-1, one of the hottest teams in the NFL. However, Week 7, I'm going to have the Falcons come crashing down to earth after a 5-1 start. A surprising loss to the Seahawks. Seattle's not a better team than Atlanta, but every single year, there's always going to be 1 or 2 games that even the best teams kind of let get away from them. So I'll take a shot in the dark and say how did they lose that game? Is this one right here. And then Week 8 at Tampa Bay, maybe we see them snowball a little bit. Maybe they felt like they were on top of the world after a 5-1 start. Now they're sitting at 5-3 going into the second half of the season, but they're hungry to keep on winning more games. Now, which game do you want to go to? Let me know in the comment section below whether it's the home opener, maybe it's the Chiefs game on Sunday night, maybe it's the Bucs game on Thursday night. Let me know down below which game you would love to go to. I'd love to see all the different games put in the comment section. Moving on to Week 9, I'm going to have them also drop this one against the Dallas Cowboys. This is not a time to panic, but this is a little bit of okay, we've got some issues to work out, some kinks to work through, but they can bounce back by knocking off the New Orleans Saints on the road with a win in Week 10. So after losing to the Cowboys, give me a Saints win in Week 10 to sweep the Aints, baby. That one's for Ken Ballard. Week 11, now we're starting to get back into a tough stretch here. On the road in Denver, approaching winter, late November, early December. It's going to be chilly. It's going to be tough for a Southern team to compete at the elements, so I'll say the home field advantage for the Broncos will take them over the top. Now, before we look at the rest of the schedule prediction here, make sure to check out this awesome deal we have running right now over at Fanatics. When you go to chatsports.com/FalconsPolo, you can get this polo 50% off. Just half off right now. So don't wait any longer because these deals tend to come and go. Sizes may run out. So chatsports.com/Falcons Polo. Be like me. You know I love my polos, and get one half off today. Week 12, they have a bye. So after kind of losing some of their early momentum with a few losses in a row and some seesawing back and forth, they catch their breath, setting themselves up for a Week 13 win. Sorry, I got the color wrong. That's my fault, against the Chargers. So that one's a win. My mistake. But a win against the Chargers in hopefully what's going to be a nice run to close out the year. Because Week 14, it's Kirk Cousins' home return to Minnesota, where he beats the Vikings. I've got Kirk Cousins knocking off Minnesota with his new team against his former team. So that sets up a nice day in Las Vegas on the road. Monday Night Football, called another win. We've got 3 in a row right now. Chargers, Vikings, Raiders. Giants are up next, and they are cruising. A win against the New York Football Giants. However, I've got a loss coming against the Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels and company are actually going to be pretty good. Dan Quinn, we know, is a good coach. He's not bad. Unfortunately, he may not be the greatest coach, but I still think he's going to get this Washington team turned around real quick. But all that setting up to a Week 18 finale at home for a win against the Carolina Panthers. So, after going through the entire season, I've got the Falcons going 11-6, winning the NFC South, hosting a playoff game for the first time in almost a decade, and in the wild card round, welcoming the Dallas Cowboys and beating Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, sending Mike McCarthy packing and Jerry Jones and the Cowboys fan base in shambles. Sadly, the fun ends here. I think they would then lose to the San Francisco 49ers in the divisional round, who then would go on to play in the NFC Championship game and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm really struggling to figure out who the 49ers are going to play in this game. Maybe it's the Falcons if they kind of get on the right side of the bracket and whatnot, but I don't think the Eagles are going to be that good this year. So I kind of just had to pick a team that made some level of sense. But in the Super Bowl in New Orleans, 49ers defeat the Baltimore Ravens. That is my Super Bowl prediction for this year. The Niners came so close last year. I think they are going to get it done this year. So that is my schedule and record prediction for the Dirty Birds. 11-6 in a playoff win in year one for Raheem Morris and Kirk Cousins. How can you not be excited about the direction this team is headed after that? But predict the Falcons record for me down below. A few months ago, I had them going 10-7. I truly do believe adding Simmons and Judon gets you to 11-6.